Okay, so we are going to attempt at least a Vietnam scenario here today. The thinking is we'll hopefully actually play out a Vietnam campaign, presuming it doesn't go spectacularly wrong at some point.
Which it can.
Yeah. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to read back to you most of what we did to solidify my understanding of what's going on, since you're more familiar with Vietnam than I am. So essentially, this is our map, and we're going to be landing in this rice paddy. That's our landing zone, and pushing out. And we have to clear 12 cards in order to win the scenario. The one of the big caveats or cautions you gave me is that unlike in Normandy, when contacts are spawned, they can actually spawn in your rear. So you could spawn something here, but they could end up on the rice paddy, which can
No, I'll point out not just in your rear, because I mean, it can be all around you.
right.
The big caveat is it can spawn on your card.
Right.
Unlike Normandy, that would be an illegal placement.
Right.
So
because
if a unit,
because of tunnels, they can spawn on the same card as your guys. So the landing zone, while it may be safe on turn one, doesn't stay that way.
it doesn't. I've experienced it not staying that way too often.
All right, and then interestingly, this was brand new for me. We got to choose assigning like veteran in line to our platoon steps. So we've basically set it up so that the first squad in each platoon is a veteran. The second one is line. The third one is green, sort of as a general rule. The weapons teams are line. And then our fourth platoon is a veteran. We'll talk a little bit more about him in a second. But anyway, this is all set up. And then we've attached the artillery FO to the first platoon, the mortar FO to the second platoon, and the air control to the third platoon.
Yep, forward air control, yep.
Forward air control to that controls our airstrike, which I'm very much looking forward to using. And then we've the other thing that we did is kind of typically we've got most of our pyrotechnics are ceasefire, but we have two of them that are move to signal, which will cause things to move towards that smoke if we pop yellow or purple. And then we've assigned that to mostly to the the leaders in these various scenarios. And then we've given smoke to units, a lot of units. Now, this is, checkmate, this is a pre-planned air assault. So what that means is that we actually have divided ourselves up into 4 waves coming in different helicopters. The first 3 are better defensively. The last one less so, but can carry more. So we're bringing them in these waves. This first wave is going to come on the first turn. The second wave is going to depart on the first turn, but that means
from the pickup zone.
Depart from the pickup zone on the first turn, and so it'll go depart from the pickup zone and end up here, which means on the second turn it will either go to the landing zone, or it can loiter for a turn if we need to clear some space.
Correct, because the key thing, and we talked about this ahead of time, but you're limited to 6 steps stacking on a card.
6 steps or 16.
I'm sorry, 16 steps.
Yeah, 16
steps. And so odds are we won't push out enough
on turn 1
immediately to get there.
Okay. And so
one part of that second wave may loiter,
right?
And then
got it. And so we can loiter. Do you have to loiter the whole wave or just part of it?
Oh, we can do parts of it. We're once it's taken off, we're moving vehicles individually, the helicopters individually.
And then the other key thing with this being pre-planned is we don't have to spend activations to make this happen. This just kind of happens.
Everything about bringing these troops in these waves, if they end up not being able to, so for instance, if we loitered, decided we still can't bring them to the landing zone, so they go outbound back to the pickup zone,
then they'll recycle.
We just follow the cycle. Once wave 4 is done, if wave 2 has some more to go,
got it.
It's going to start all over.
Got it. All right, so the last real decision we have to make is in this Vietnam, you can actually choose between bringing a 4th platoon, which is kind of an understrength platoon, although they coolly have grenades. I guess everybody has grenades in this situation.
They all do, yep. Unfortunately, so does the enemy.
Or we can bring in the mortar section. And you were saying that you found in the plays that you've done is that when you're on an offensive mission, which is what this is, it kind of you like having the fourth platoon, and that may also have a historical basis too.
Yeah, I think it's somewhat from reading the mission booklet, also somewhat historical that they tended to not want to bring that heavy equipment on
Right.
patrols out and missions out into the field off a helicopter. So the mortar section tended to be more on defensive missions
Got
when
it.
they were inside of their compound.
So what we're gonna do is
I
we're
would say
gonna
we should bring the fourth.
so we're gonna leave the 81st millimeter at home, and that's why we had assigned like veteran status or line status to these guys down below.
Yeah.
So we need to basically
Yeah, I
put
think we
these
made
guys
both line except the second squad is
and the platoon HQ is a veteran.
correct. Now let me say we may want to consider, and this is risky, again, if these get shot down, but we could just say, hey, this one's bringing in the third platoon. So if we can only bring one, we get third in or all of fourth.
Got it.
For purposes of,
So we
we could also lose the entire fourth
platoon
in one grenade attack.
Yeah. Well, let's nothing ventured down. Let's do it that way. I like that. The other thing I wanted to mention, actually, because this was new, is that in this pre-planned, we are actually to kind of pre-break down some of these guys. So we have some assault teams already pre-broken down, which will save us some activations in the beginning, right?
Correct. Only other thing I'll point out is we have set up these counters here to remind us we don't want wave 3 taking off from the pickup zone into inbound until the third turn.
Right.
So we're basically, and then the 5 for the
Right.
Chinooks, effectively creating a little bit of a delay to allow time to not end up with too much traffic is the idea.
All right. And okay. And so so we've got a turn in between. Okay. So I think that is, I mean, the specifics of what we've done here will become more apparent as we put it on the board, but that is setup done, right?
That is correct.
And this is our
turn one is fast.
This is our map. So we're landing in a rice paddy. We've got a rice paddy on a hill, gully. This is new terrain too. So
yes, yeah.
So decent defensive terrain here.
Yep.
Potentially here, depending on where the fire is coming from. I mean, this obviously would be a good place to go to get spotting, right? I mean, this can spot a lot of stuff.
You can see everywhere, well, not everywhere, but in a lot of places. And it'd be nice if it had better cover up there.
Yes, it would be, but okay.
The other thing that I'll point out is the minute a U.S. unit has line of sight to an unrevealed card, you flip it. You reveal it.
Okay.
So,
okay. So
when we land here,
this card is going to get revealed.
We'll immediately see what's here.
Got it.
As we push out, we'll start to reveal.
Got it.
So we do it as we gain line of sight.
Got it. Okay. So we won't see this. We can't see this through the hill.
Because of that hill.
Yep. Okay.
Trying to think if there's any other key thing. There is, point out the Viet Cong, they're all veterans, so they get 3 card draws on damn near everything, which is really fun.
Okay.
The Viet Cong, they also have all their units that didn't already have grenades. So all their squads that don't have grenades, and then also their RPGs up here. If we draw them, they each end up with one of these RPG counters.
Okay.
And so they can be throwing grenades at us.
Okay.
Single shot grenades.
All right.
That can get really interesting.
So this is not going to be, even from the beginning, this is not going to be as linear as like Normandy tends to be, where you're pushing in one direction. And there's we've got lines of advance on the edge of the board, but no forward lines or anything like that. And there are no objectives here. We're just trying to clear 12 cards best we can.
Yep.
All right, well, let's
strategy-wise, the one thing I would tell you from my playthroughs is obviously when we pull out of the landing zone and we move out, we risk that units, because of the tunnels, appear back on the landing zone.
Right.
But if we can fairly quickly, if we can avoid that and then move out to the outer edge, we start to eliminate the risk of. One of the things to keep in mind is the tunnels, and are we going to cause something to come in the landing zone? Because as we're bringing troops in, as they disembark, they're exposed.
Right.
And you can end up with 8, 12 exposed units, and suddenly Viet Cong pops up.
Got it.
It's awful.
As we said,
it's a very bad moment.
As we said, it's a counterattack on turn 10 bad.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
it is.
So shall we get started then? So we start with
Yeah. So
wave
if
one
we look
already
at
inbound, but
exactly, wave one is already inbound. Everybody else is in the pickup zone. In reality, all of wave one are activated, so we could place an activate marker.
got it.
And wave two is going to be activated.
Okay.
I tend to
Shorthand
not do
that.
those on those. And if you look here at the sequence of play,
Yeah.
we have no units on the map, and one of the rules is you're out of command, out of communication until you're out of the helicopter. So we basically have no friendly units. There are no enemy units. There's no mutual capture. We just jump straight to, on turn one, vehicle movement.
Okay.
And effectively, we're moving all four of these onto the landing zone.
Okay.
There's no enemy units around us, so normally they would get to. We'd move them one at a time,
and they would fire.
They could fire at us.
Okay.
Exactly. But so now they've landed, and we're going to disembark. So we're going to basically take wave two, and I'm going to get the ones that have the smoke counters.
So this is already a little scary, just because it's like you're just in the middle. You're in the middle. You get 12 units in the middle of the soup. They're not back in like a friendly staging area.
Exactly.
Nice,
you know what's
cozy,
even
warm,
worse? I'm going to point out in my other playthroughs, I haven't ended up with everybody sitting in a zero concealment.
Oh, great.
So we may want to consider
next turn popping smoke on that card.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I would love to get, for instance, I'm going to place one expose, although it's irrelevant because there's no PC here, no potential contact. But if we could do that, we could at least move units off of a zero.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if one of these guys should pop his smoke in that zone before we actually like move off, just to give them some cover.
Might be a smart idea to do that in that turn.
Yeah, just because it's that first turn they're going to be.
As a matter of fact, I think we gave the CO smoke.
Yeah.
Too. Although I think it was White. No, we gave him smoke.
Yeah.
With the idea that he could pop it to protect himself.
Yeah. So that's.
But the other thing is to keep in mind is we have other places that we could have a CO or the staff. Call them landing zones. So we can't, that mangrove swamp won't, but we could choose this brush. The only problem is as these waves come in, somebody's got to lay down colored smoke. And every time to not go to the primary landing zone.
Okay. But
this was a pretty rough.
That's actually not a terrible thing to start with, is maybe we think about establishing a new landing zone for like the third and the fourth wave, just because this is so exposed.
It's
All right.
I don't like that zero. I'm afraid that could bite us.
Well, we'll find out.
No, that's it. We just moved the units in, disembarked them. There's no fire updates, no potential contact, no pinned.
So that's
we're straight to cleanup, and we're done with turn one.
So I take cleanup? Well,
just take cleanup.
It'll just get rid of the one.
And all it's going to do is remove an exposed marker.
So now we're
drawing. We're drawing a card for the HQ event.
All right.
What I always love is when right now they say, "Oh, thank God," when they're like, "We need a report." It's like
we've landed.
I just used 3 command points to tell you we landed.
Yeah.
All right. So we're drawing for the CO, who is green, but we're also no contact.
So that remind me, it's been so long since we've played. So that
it's a +1 for the no contact, -1 because he's green, no other modifiers.
So he gets 3.
So he starts with 3.
That's not bad because we don't have a lot to activate. Like for him, right?
No, in fact, what I would tell you is what might make sense is he activates the first obvious. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Then potentially what we want to do is have somebody like the artillery FO or somebody look for cover.
Okay, on this
card. I mean, there can only be one.
Yep.
But the other thing that the CO could do is push out one of these assault teams. Or he could lay his smoke.
Or he could do both.
or he could do both.
Why don't we? I like the idea of having him push out his assault team, and then, um, I feel like maybe we should hold his smoke until we get a few of these things going. So maybe we should have him push out an assault team, save one, and then let first platoon do the rest.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: Are we gonna?
Worst case scenario, I'm thinking one of these guys could pop their smoke before they move.
So we currently got 12 steps in that on that card, and we're
Yeah.
going to push 3 out, right?
For sure, yes. Yeah.
Maybe more. But if we push 3 out, we can bring 7 steps in. So we can basically bring in 2 more Hueys and
Can I ask you a question?
have 2 loiter.
Should these guys be here if they
Yeah, that's sorry. We should have moved those in the AT movement. They should have moved to the
But I kind of figured the plan was they're going to loiter.
at least 2 will.
Okay.
We might bring 2 in because they're with individual decisions
Right. Understood.
and land
So
2 more.
I was just thinking that we should have the CO hold his smoke until we kind of know what we're facing, rather than just like landing, panicking, and popping smoke. And like I said, if we need to, we can have one of these guys pop smoke before they leave if things look
What
really
I'll do
bad.
is tell you if that's a good idea in about 10 minutes.
So let's just have him push one of these assault teams.
Yeah,
So let's have him push one of these assault teams, and then maybe have the artillery FO look for cover. Oh, and it should be mentioned, we pretty much everybody's got radios and can talk to each other, and we don't have a lot of those problems, right?
Yes. Now like the artillery FO doesn't have a.
He doesn't. So if he goes into cover, he can't. Then he would not.
Well, correct. So,
we could get one of these weapons teams to do it instead.
Yep.
Maybe it would be better, because I kind of want to get the.
Do we want to move into cover into these better?
Yeah, that's what I think is we want to. I'm thinking like here or here. I mean, here's the thing. If we move, as you talked about getting to the edge of the board. Oh, you know what? We forgot. We also should reveal this card, right?
Well, I'm sorry. Yep. That card gets revealed. So hit the right mouse button on it, and there's a reveal card.
Got it. I was just trying to flip it.
Yeah, they're locked to try to avoid you mistakenly moving them. So when I did the MA, we added that.
In terms of what you said, in terms of trying to push to the edge of the board, I wonder if we should go in this direction, because all 3 cards in this direction have decent cover, whereas only this one only has a +1 over here. So maybe we look at pushing left.
Yeah, I like that. It also gives us, well, it would be here, but we're not as good at cover. There's 2 spots that we could call other landing zones if we wanted.
Yep. So
we're saying he pushes 1 up. We can have him.
Yep.
He's exposed.
Okay.
And then do we want him to tell a weapons team to try to find cover?
I think we do. And
we're drawing 3
that
cards.
This card can only have 1 cover. Okay. So we're drawing 3 cards.
That's it.
And we're looking for
That
cover.
was pretty rough.
Well, we found
Got it.
I drew the other 3 cards just
All
because.
right. So weapons team, we pointed at that guy, so that's.
Yeah. He's exposed, but he's also in cover.
He is.
Does he get exposed? Does he get exposed when he?
Yeah,
yeah,
because he moved.
I thought so. Yeah.
He moved undercover, so he's exposed now.
All right.
So ironically, right now, if something bad happens, he's in worse shape for finding cover.
Correct, but that'll only last for nothing bad's going to happen. I guarantee you. So now with our last, well, not with our last card. So that's the CO has used everything now.
I'm trying to get it so when we bring in the other units.
Yeah.
Actually, we're probably going to want to move some of them undercover. They're already going to be exposed. All right. So that's it. The CO has none left.
So now we're doing the first platoon, who we activated.
My OCD, you can watch it in act.
Actually, the good news is it's off screen, so nobody's having to watch that. So
good.
He first platoon is line. HQ
So he gets
is line.
5.
So he gets.
Did you draw yet?
No, I haven't drawn for him yet.
Oh, I thought that 4 was your draw.
No.
Okay.
So he gets +1.
Yep.
Well, we got enough to push our 2 assault teams out.
Yep, I think that's what we're doing. So here and here, right?
Yep, correct. I'll grab this guy and go low.
All right. Now,
And then he
general initiative.
So we flip him and
Yeah, so those actually go over there to the.
Got it.
Now draw for general initiative. We'd love to get someone so we can pop some smoke, maybe,
or look for cover
or cover. Both.
Ah,
3 is good.
Is that the 4 or the 3? Remind me for general.
The 3 for general initiative.
All right, so we could just have all 3 of these guys look for cover,
or all 3 of them pop smoke.
or all 3 of them pop smoke. What does smoke do again? Smoke is
smoke that turn. It's a +2.
The only thing about the smoke I'm wondering about is, well, I'm just worried that like they're gonna turn up here or here. Well, I guess it still helps the card though, right? Your choice. Do you think we should pop the smoke or look for cover?
Well, if they end up here, they're firing on those units, not us.
Yeah.
If they end up here, they're firing on the card.
Got it. Yeah.
The smoke's guaranteed. These guys have 4.
So maybe
we're guaranteed a +2 on every card, or not.
So maybe we pop smoke here because it's got this +3, +1. And we're only drawing 3 cards there. But maybe we take a chance on drawing 4 cards for cover in these 2 in the brush, and save the smoke for a time when we know what's going on. All right, so he's gonna pop smoke.
That's 1.
And then this guy is going to draw 4 cards looking for cover. Oof.
Made you sweat.
You've made me very nervous about this. There we go.
It plays. All right, so they all got.
So that worked out okay.
Both of them got cover.
Yeah. All right, so that worked out okay.
All right. So that is general initiative. So we got to do enemy activity. And even though there's no enemy on the board, we got to draw for the Q event.
Enemy HQ event. Nothing.
There is none. So we're dropping down. There's no enemy activity. There's no mutual return. So now it's AT movement. Again, we don't have to do this individually because there's no enemy units on the board. So there's no risk to bringing these in. But we basically have our 9. Right, that's what we said. 9 steps.
So we can bring.
So we can only bring in 2. So the question is, do you want to bring in the big 21 and 22, get the first sergeant, or do you want to bring in 1 right now and see what we discover? That might be smarter.
Yeah, let's bring in.
But also have them all loiter and see what we discover.
See, I wonder if we should just have them all loiter, because I just feel. Well, no, let's bring in 1 and have 3 loiter.
Let's bring in the one we care about the least.
Who do you care about?
Who do you care about? Probably that weapons team, the mortar, and
you think it's that these guys
instead of a squad, that's a veteran squad. That's a green squad. Maybe that guy.
I think this guy. Yeah, I think this guy. First platoon.
All right, so no, bringing in 20.
Actually, hang on a second. This is the. Oh, this is the third. This is the.
Oh no,
the first.
Yeah, that's the 3rd squad of the first platoon.
We should get him in. Yeah, we should bring him in.
Yeah.
So 24.
24 lands.
And 20.
Those 2.
The rest of them are going to loiter.
Now, we can make him. Don't think. Do we want him undercover, or because then he can't get orders from the first platoon?
No,
probably not.
No, I think let's leave them where they are.
And leave him out too.
Yeah, because we need to push him
So
up.
those
right?
2, yeah, those 2 are exposed.
All right.
All right. And then those 3 are loitering.
Those 3 are
and
loitering.
Then 31 is not coming on until going inbound until turn 3.
Turn 3. So next turn.
So now is where the fun begins. No fire mission, potential contact.
Where do you want to?
So we got 3 cards, right?
So 1, 2, top to bottom. 1, 2, 3.
Well,
right?
no. First, we got to reveal these.
Oh, sorry. I thought you. Okay. See.
And we start with the bees.
So this will be 1. This will be 2.
Correct.
So we're gonna reveal the
So this guy
bottom one
first,
first.
the bottom one.
So how many cards are we drawing
So
for B?
B is automatic at no contact.
All right, great. So I just draw
So
D10.
we have contact.
D10 for
Yep, and it's a B. What'd you get?
1. That I think is gonna be bad. They're all bad, I'm
Sniper.
sure. Damn it.
Sniper in a foxhole.
Where? That's over here. Oh, there we go.
I'll bet you he's unspotted. Ugh. Do that.
Well, hopefully he doesn't turn up in this card.
That would really suck. So let me tell you what not to draw. That's the right. Don't draw a 3 on an 8.
On an 8. I drew a 7.
So
oh, actually,
side.
when do we reveal these terrain cards? As soon as we move in
there? We should have revealed them when they moved. So we can go and... So 7 on an 8 is the left side.
Okay.
So he's basically, well, what we need to do is see, is this a hill? Not. So.
Wait, did you mean up here?
This is the guy that was doing it, right?
The sniper guy. No, but I was thinking, should we be revealing this because we can see through this or no?
No, I don't think you do.
Only unless you
map extension.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. So I was doing left side just to see if his max LOS was on a hill.
Got it.
So he is unspotted. One of the things that, by the way, I have now understand is unspotted is not a unit designation for the enemy. It's a card designation. If there were 2 units on here, once you spot one, you've spotted them all.
Oh, that's actually cool.
Helpful.
Yeah.
We've messed that up before.
Oh, yeah.
So we have a PDF. And unfortunately, we have both a sniper.
Yep. Yeah, but
he's a small arm.
Yeah, but he's undercover. He's fine. He's undercover. And what?
Yep.
Actually, it's only a -2. It could be a lot worse, right?
So now we have contact.
But now we have contact. Uh-oh.
So now we are doing this one, the next B.
Yep. And is that
now this changes, right? Yep. So that's 5 cards.
5 cards. All right, you ready? 1.
Maybe.
I keep drawing, right?
I think you draw the 5 cards and then we reshuffle. I think you draw the...
That doesn't count as 1. So I got to draw 5.
That does not count as 1.
So 1.
Wish it did.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
And then
Good drawing.
Thank you. That's what I'm best at. All right, we're 1/12 of the way. Does this count as a cleared card? No.
I don't think that one counts
No,
as
it's
a
not
cleared.
cleared. It's not good. I actually remember seeing somewhere cleared means it had a PC marker on it.
Yep.
All right, so now we're drawing
this one is
C.
contact, so 3 cards.
1, 2. Lots of contact.
Triple contact.
All right, so 1 to 10 to find out what we get, right?
Let's see. Yep.
4.
That is an outpost, just a squad and foxhole. That's actually one of the.
And
that could be way worse.
What don't I want to draw on an 8?
Hold on, real quick. So that is an outpost. He is not spotted. Draw another card to see if it's point blank or. So on a 1 or a 2, it's point blank.
On a
10,
it's a 6.
So it is going to be.
I drew this card thinking I was drawing for placement, so this is a new card.
So it's max LOS and range. So what you don't want to draw is you don't want them down here.
Yeah.
So you don't want right rear. You don't want a 4.
10.
8.
Oh, sorry, 8. It's probably still in it. 8. Yes.
So left front. So the left side again.
All right.
Which is, I think, good.
No hill. That's good.
Yeah, so he's unspotted.
He's a good...
Take one thing I forgot on that one. He
gets a...
He does not have grenades naturally, so he gets an
RPG.
One-shot grenade. That's one of the campaign... I think it's one of the campaign rules.
Got it.
Just check here.
So interesting. So okay. So when this so this guy has AS as his fire. That's why we were drawing to determine if he was on this card versus
No. If you look over here at the outpost, which was the 4,
Oh,
it says in the placement,
got it.
draw a 10, 1 to 2, it's point blank, 3 to 10, it's max LOS.
Okay. I see that now.
So-
Okay, got it. Okay, so it was in that. Okay.
So here we have a
Yeah, but we got smoke.
small arms.
And we got smoke. This guy's so
The
smart.
AS, the automatic is point blank. The
Yeah.
small arms is anything.
Yep. All right. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't really know, but from my experience in Normandy,
I can
feel
already
like
tell
that
you
could
that
be
one-
worse.
That one as good as we could. So now we're engaged as well.
Okay. We'll see if that lasts.
We have a card we can move to without risk if we want to get some units off.
and we
to
could
put some
put
more.
a card by the way, which we could turn into a landing zone.
Yep.
And
As
that
well
maybe-
as multiple covers if we need them.
Yeah, I think getting a new landing zone here may be a high priority order of business.
The no pinned recovery, so we're straight to combat effect.
All right. So remind me, do we draw
What?
cards to determine the order we do this, or is this one where it doesn't matter?
No, this is and you and I have always gone top left to bottom
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So
start there.
basically here and then here. So
All right. So he's got.
he is +5 -2.
So he's +3. Essentially, the smoke
Yep.
and the exposed cancel each other out. He's +3.
Yep. Miss.
Miss. All right.
That's good.
That is good.
So now down here, unfortunately, he's going to be the sniper is going to take a shot at him.
So he's.
The sniper is going to get
-2.
placed on that.
Yeah. He's
He's
-2.
-5 +3, so -2. Yeah.
Yeah. The inverse of our last one. Hit.
Hit. Casualty. That was quick.
So the problem is the sniper's now going to shift his fire over here if we don't do
Correct.
something. Or does he do it automatically? Yeah, he'll do it automatically, right?
He will do it automatically.
Which means this may become our target for the landing zone.
Ay, that's just not good. Well, we're going to struggle because on a landing zone, we're going to have to get the CO there with enough to then declare a landing zone. Then he's going to be under fire from a sniper, which is going to.
Yeah,
I don't think that's the right thing.
Until we spot this sniper, I don't think we're really.
Yeah.
So that's
The better thing, unfortunately, might be to say, we'll try to spot the sniper, this guy,
Yeah.
and just let him suffer
Yeah. I mean, the other problem
under
that we've got,
sniper
by the
fire.
way, is that the sniper can see this.
that hill. Yep.
So we can't really start moving up there until we deal with this sniper.
Snipers.
All right. So that is
That was interesting.
all for combat effects. Now we just clean up, right?
Yeah, it's clean up. Pretty quick, 2 turns. But now from my experience, it'll slow down.
All right. All right. So we'll end here. We'll come back and we'll start the next turn in the next video.
Sounds like a plan.